Good morning, everybody, and welcome to FTB Sports. This is your daily transfer news. I'm joined with Solo. Solo, how are you doing?
Hello, how you doing? You all right? Good day yesterday?
Very good, yeah, it's very good, very good. Watched a bit of football, obviously saw some of the results.
Brilliant.
Interesting to see whether or not we're going to get all the games played today. There's still some doubts about some of them, but up until that point, we're just going to hope we can see some more football.
Yeah, I've noticed they're talking about a 2-week break away from it to come back to COVID, but I don't. It's a hard one. But we just got to think about the player safety as well, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's get on with this. We've got some transfer rumors that we want to get through, as we normally do, and the first one up today: Wolves to sign free agent Costa. So Diego Costa has had his contract terminated by Atletico Madrid and is now available.
Yes.
This one, what do you see with this?
This is massive. This is huge, and especially if Wolves can get him, I just think he would bring something extra, something different to Wolves. And because obviously they lost Jota was sort of like a talisman for them. But bringing Diego Costa with the experience of the Premier League, his trophy cabinet speak for itself. What he can bring, his sort of like his physicality as well. Defenders are scared of him.
Yeah, he's scared of him. Scary person.
Yeah. And you got to think as well, he played 61 games for Athletic Madrid, scored 21 goals. For Chelsea, he's played 89. He played 89 games and actually scored, I believe, if I'm right to say, he scored like 38 or 39 goals for them as well in his time at Chelsea. So again, when you look at his track record, phenomenal. That would be a steal if they could get him. But there'll be obviously other clubs coming in for him. But it depends if he wants to play for the manager as well.
Yeah, there will be definitely other clubs in for him. How old is he?
32.
What's his age? 32. So he's not over the hill by any stretch of the imagination. You know,
another 3 years.
Yeah, he probably has. But what he also brings is he brings with that aggression. He brings with a lot of, fights, determination, and I think he gets players around him to kind of play that way as well. So it's either a very good signing or it could cause a lot of problems within the dressing room, upsetting harmonies and the rest of it. So, but you're right. I think there'll be a lot of clubs that will be in for him, and it'll be good to see him back in the Premier League just for that fact he just brings that much aggression and energy. And like you said, defenders are scared of him.
Yeah. And he knows the Premier League. He knows the Premier League inside out. So it would be a remarkable signing if Wolves can get him.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
And that Portuguese kind of like, I know he's not Portuguese, he's Brazilian, but obviously the language, being with all those rest of the Portuguese guys, it's a big thing for him, obviously, to pledge his allegiances to Spain as opposed to Brazil. But that being said, he's a definite dominant force, and one when he was in the Premier League, defenders were like,
defenders scared.
It's not him.
Yeah.
So that one could happen. Like I said, there's a few reports out about that. So let's see. There was talk about Spurs. I don't think I'd want him at Spurs, if I'm honest with you, just because of that what he brings. We've already got a little bit of that high energy aggression type in our manager. I don't know if we need him in that player as well.
The way I look at him as well, I think he's a great player. Don't take nothing away from him, but also I think he's got a side to him which isn't a good side. He's got a nasty side to him as well, where he goes in the dressing room and he creates so many issues if he's not getting things his way. So I don't know whether or not Wolves would be the club that could sort of tame him. I honestly don't believe the manager there. The manager looks serious. The manager looks like a manager you don't play with. But at the same time, he needs that manager, sort of like determined manager, like, right, if you sort of like come in a dressing room, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, right, you're going to be dropped.
Yeah, he does definitely need a strong manager. Definitely needs a strong manager. So we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. Okay, let's our next story. Arsenal Isco interest. So reading about this one today, there's a possible loan deal for Isco. Obviously, Isco being at Real Madrid, not really playing that much, not really getting as much game time as I think he wants. I don't believe Real Madrid want to get rid of a player like that, but certainly maybe to put him out on loan, that could be something that could happen. And Arsenal, they was in for Arwa before that. Now they might be looking at Isco. I tell you what, as a replacement for Ozil, he'd be fantastic if he could get up to speed and play at that same level. So, what do you think? Does Arsenal suit him?
Again, Arsenal sort of, I think they're linked with any creative midfield player at the moment, aren't they? In this January transfer window coming up. Again, Isco, 28 years old. He's got still a lot. He's only made 10 appearances this season for Real Madrid and scored 1 goal. Again, Zidane is at it again, where he's falling up with players again. He's almost coming the new Jose Mourinho, really, isn't he? Where it's almost the players ain't performing at his ability rather than letting them perform at their ability. So I think that's the falling out with them at the moment. Also, not only Arsenal, but you got Sevilla, they're in for him as well. So again, coming to the Premier League, would you prefer to play for Arsenal, which I believe they're in a worse situation than any other club at the moment? So again, for me, the answer would be he could settle in, yes. But if there's an easier move to Sevilla, I think he'll go Sevilla instead of going to Arsenal. And Arsenal would utilise him. He would suit Arsenal. He would walk straight into that team because their creativity is bad. They're not creating any chances.
Yeah, watched the game last night. They lacked a lot of creativity.
Yes.
Saka was probably their most creative player, and he's not really a number 10, but he's certainly got that sort of ability and that talent to create things, but not from a central area, I don't believe. I think he's more of a wide player.
Yeah. I think with Saka, I think it's the energy. The reason why he's looking so good at the moment is his energy level. And that's the reason why. It's nothing else about ability at all. It's just his energy.
He's got talent, but like I said, 18, 19, or you should be able to run all day and the next day as well. Isco being 28, I think I said earlier that maybe Real Madrid wouldn't want to sell him. I think they are probably looking to sell him, and I think Arsenal just want a loan deal. So that could be the sticking point for them. Sevilla, have they got the money to spend to get someone like Isco? I don't know what the sort of transfer fee that Real Madrid would want. So again, it's still very much an up in the air sort of thing. Does he want to come to the Premier? He's been touted as coming to this league for a long time now. Hasn't done that. Hasn't made that. 28, probably you'd say that at this sort of age is probably a prime time. If he's going to come now, it would have to be now. So potential, but I'm just not sure if he would go to Arsenal. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Spurs. I'm just saying that why would he? I'm just trying to understand why he would.
In the Premier League, the only club I could probably see him suiting the best is Man City. City would be the club I could see him suiting. I can't really ensure, like I said, he'd walk in an Arsenal team, but Arsenal's got a bigger problem than Isco. I think, to be honest with you, if he went to Man City would be a better fit because he's got a proven manager. The squad is almost there and thereabouts, challenging for the title. So why not go to City if City came in for him rather than going to Arsenal? And if Sevilla went in for him as well, again, Sevilla will have more opportunity, more chances of winning stuff in Europe than Arsenal.
Yeah, I think
no disrespect.
I think for Isco, it's probably more a case that he wants to play regular football. He's not getting that at Real Madrid. He would certainly get that at Arsenal. He would definitely play the majority of games. Sevilla, probably the same sort of thing. So he's probably looking, if he's a real, wanting to play, he's looking to go to somewhere where he's going to be playing regularly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's still got probably a few more legs on it to go, and we've still obviously got a whole month of January before all these things get sorted out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting story. Definitely an interesting story. Let's move on to our last one then for today. Jose to reunite with Ramos. I'll hear your thoughts on this first before I go into this.
With this one here, with Ramos. Ramos is a great player. Again, he's been almost like the pin-up boy for Real Madrid, hasn't he? He's won every single thing with him. He is he's 34 now, I believe. Yes. He's 34 years old. He's made over 606 appearances. I think he's the second highest appearance for them. He scored 72 goals in that period of time as a centre-back for them. Also, he can play on the left. He can play on the right or he can play on the left-hand side of defence. Now, for me, his track record as sort of sending off, he's been sent off 26 times for Real Madrid. Now, Premier League is more competitive and he will put his body on the line for everything. That's what sort of player Ramos is. My issue with Ramos is contracts running down completely. And he does this every time his contract is running down.
I was
He's
just
been
gonna
linked
say
with Man United
all the time.
4 or 5 times over
All
the
the time.
past few years. This is just for Real Madrid at age 34. He just wants a new contract. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
It seems to me like, as you said, I've heard these Ramos rumors for years. He's going to be leaving. He's going to be leaving. And then when you dig a little deeper, it's always tied into his contract. And then he seems to magically sign this new contract, stays at Real Madrid. Look, for me, Real Madrid is his home. That's his club. I don't see him going anywhere else. He's probably in that sense very similar to how Raul was when he was at Real Madrid. You know, that player, you know, is all the way through him a Real Madrid player.
Yeah.
To come to the Premier League at 34, I think it's just a move too much for me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Plus, if he did come to the Premier, imagine he did come to the Premier League at age 34 as a centre back, or if you want to play him on the right hand side, what you got to find yourself in, it's going to be the situation. How long, because of the pace of the Premier League, how long would he last? 1, 2, he'd be caught out every single week.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
He's still quality, and so it's when you watch him in the
course.
Champions League, he pops up with winners. He makes a difference when he comes into the team. When he's out of the team, you can see the difference that he makes to Real Madrid. He would make a massive difference in the changing room, around the club, to any club that he would come to in the Premier League. But as you were saying, to do this type of football, high intensity every single week, he doesn't have to do that at Real Madrid. You know, he can sometimes maybe not coast through games, and I know they're not doing as great as they should be, but you know, he's got that ability to maybe get through games a lot easier than he would do if he was in the Premier League.
Also, if he was to come to, so imagine he did come to Spurs, who would you replace him with? Would it be Dyer or would it be Alvaro? Again,
see, for me, if he's coming to Spurs, he's going to command a first team place. The partnership with Dyer and Alderweireld at the moment is one that's quite successful for us, and we seem to have suffered when Alderweireld's not been in the team with Dyer. But Alderweireld being the older person, I would say that would be the likely one to drop out. It would be a Dyer-Ramos partnership. Sounds great on paper, sounds fantastic, sounds like something that we would want and you know, would be really a tough centre-back pairing. But again, Ramos, he brings with him something else other than just his football ability. You know, he's got that way of you know, getting under people's skin. He really does have that aggression about him. His red card record, as you just said, is frightening for a player. And I can see that being at 34, you're not going to get better. You're going to make maybe slightly more mistakes, be out of position slightly more, and therefore those red cards may just tot up as well.
Tottenham basically pushing for for the league. Now you got 3 games left to play, and then all of a sudden he gets sent off. Costed the league.
Well, like I said, I'm kind of like my pipe dream if I'm looking at the league, but that will have to depend on what happens in the result tonight. But yeah, Ramos is I think 2-3 years ago, any team in the Premier League would have wanted him, and I'm not doubting that any team wouldn't take him now.
Yeah, they would, of course.
It's just that what you've got to balance that up with. You're going to then restrict maybe one of your younger players if you're playing the youngsters in your squad, in your team. And you also have to remember, he's not going to come cheap. He's definitely not coming cheap.
Also, you got the whole thing as well with, as a United fan here, I'll take him at United any day of the week. But again, like you said, it's just that longevity. How long? What is it going to do?
Yeah. So Crollo's got a comment here. Would you not give Ramos a year? Again, a player to come to any club for a year, particularly if they've not played in the Premier League, is going to need maybe a year to settle. Definitely 3 to 6 months. There's very few players that come into this league and just kind of, wow, that's it. In recent times, it's probably Bruno Fernandes is probably the only one that I've seen that's just landed, played like how he was playing before. Ramos has that experience. I give him that. Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same league as it is in Spain. So yeah, you give Ramos a year, but then you've got to think, what is he going to do within that year? He'd have to hit the ground running.
Especially if he does come in January as well. Imagine he comes in January will Spurs go and pay the money for a 34-year-old? I don't think they would want to go and spend money for Ramos at that age.
It's not in the Spurs DNA to do that. No, it's not really something that the club's looking to do. I've seen how they've been operating now currently with the likes of people that they're signing, and Jose's not had his ability to be able to just buy and sign anybody. There are certain limitations to what he's doing. Another comment here from Crollo. I look at Thiago Silva as a case study. So Thiago Silva for Chelsea, to me, he brings experience. I'm yet to see a consistent Thiago Silva at Chelsea. He has some good games, but then he's also had a couple.
He's in and out. He's in and out.
Exactly.
What I've seen of him, he's done well in some games, but then there's games where I've watched him and he's been caught out, and also because of his age as well, he's been injured as well. So age is just a number, but in the Premier League, unfortunately, you can't get away with saying age is just a number. You're going to get caught out all the time.
You can't, because when you play certain, the majority of teams who want to like have designs on playing at the highest level, the Liverpools, your Manchester United, tend to play a bit of a high line. Chelsea play a high line, and for me, when you got someone like Thiago Silva in there, who's not the paciest and is aging as well, you're asking to have to adapt your style of play. Ramos again is in both boxes a massive threat.
Yeah.
Massive threat.
Yeah. No, but Ramos, to be honest with you, if you had to pick, I'd pick Ramos over Thiago Silva any day of the week because he's got more legs on him. But at the same time, for a 34-year-old, no. Maybe a loan to just come in for sort of a couple of months, and then that's about it. I wouldn't go out and spend money. Because again, Spurs buying Ramos, you're looking at what, about 25, 30 million? You're not going to recoup no money from that again. You better hope you win the league. Yeah,
there's no selling with Ramos. So
that's it.
It doesn't look like financial sense. It might make sense from an immediate impact. Can we get him to win us something? And that might be a thinking. But as I said, there's no sell on. You've got someone who's then going to have to command a place all the time. Yeah, and you're going to maybe upset a little.
The wages as well. The wages will come in? Will Daniel Levy give him the wages? The answer is no to that as well.
Well, not if we're currently paying half of Bale's wages at the moment. So no, that doesn't appear like that's something that I think is going to go. But again, we'll see with these ones. I think we're going to wrap up there. It's been really good. So you see these rumors. We're going to be continuing with all these different aspects of our daily transfer window. So we should have somebody else up tomorrow. It's been really good talking to you, Solo. Again, we're getting comments through. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all those who are watching. Make sure you support FTB Sports. Thank you again for watching. And Solo, thank you again.
Thank you very much, as always. See you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks, guys. Bye.